got, huh?
Yes, sir. We have the longitude and latitude for 29 Cummings Road, Pensacola, Florida, 32503. The longitude, the latitude. Let me start with the latitude. The latitude is 30.47 north, and the longitude is minus 87.24 west.
Excellent. Okay. That's good. All right, that's all I had on my list, brother.
You want to start a new recording?
Why?
This call is from the San Diego County Sheriff's Office.
I didn't. No, we're good. We do have Bible questions, but we can either pick that up later tonight or we can pick it up tomorrow morning, depending on how the phones are open and your availability and your inclination.
Whichever you think. I'm sitting here, phones are open now.
Okay.
Mornings are good, or afternoons are good, but evenings are not.
Okay.
So I don't want to interrupt you guys' schedule.
No. We got plenty of time right now, so maybe we just start with some new Bible questions right now, if you like.
Sure.
Okay, and some of them are not Bible questions. Let me read to you a few that came in today. This one came in and said, could you ask Ken about this, Rudy? Thanks. And it says, hello, Mr. Land. My name is David Kirkland. I live in Panama City, Florida. I heard Dr. Hovind ask for help with raising money to build a new dinosaur adventureland, so I started a GoFundMe page for him so we could take donations for that specific reason. I was told I needed to contact you. I guess this is an email to Mr. Land, but he's asking me to read it to you. He says, I was told to contact via email Mr. Land and make sure that you and Kent were okay with me running that campaign. I started that campaign at GoFundMe/Dr. Dino if you want to see it. No monies have been donated as of yet. I can set it up where no one but Ken Hovind can withdraw the funds from the campaign. I just need this information to do that. I just need his information to do that. So if you could give me a call, he gives his phone number, we can discuss. It would be a blessing. I'm not trying to make any money off Ken. I just want to help him and his family. Thank you. Hope to speak with you later. Bye for now. And that comes in from, I think his name is David Kirkland in Panama City.
Oh, well, yeah, have him settle that with Ernie. It needs to be clear that it goes to the ministry, not to me. But I think that's all fine. Ernie would know what to do with that. So thank you. I appreciate that, brother.
All right. Yeah, we'll get David hooked up with Ernie. Very good. All right. Here's a Bible question from Nico. And Nico writes, thank you, Pastor, for the answer on the last judgment. I still don't understand the two judgments, though. Would love to hear a little more the Great White Throne Judgment. My question is, what do you think of Christian contemporary music? A lot say that we should stick with hymns and psalms for worshiping God. Is there a limit to what actually is considered worship, genre-wise? Like I've heard good contemporary music like Jason Upton and Fred Hammond, but then on their screamo Christian music, and I know it isn't glorifying to God. Where do you stand on the subject, Pastor? Thank you for your time, and I'm praying for you don't have to spend it behind bars anymore. God bless your brother in Christ, Nico.
Well, thank you, Nico. Appreciate the question. Let's see. Where would I start? My wife is a music expert. She would be better with that question. I avoid things that try to avoid things that even get close to looking or sounding like the world. And I think some of the Christian contemporary, in my humble, totally unbiased opinion, sounds too much like the heathen and looks too much like the heathen, and I don't want to be associated with it. I speak in churches all the time that have that type of music. Before I get up and preach, I sit there, smile, nod my head. I enjoy the lyrics, no question. But I think if someone driving by the outside only heard the music, they would probably not recognize it as Christian. So I don't know. It's not a big deal with me. It's a preference. I guess if you had a bullseye, a target with a bullseye and concentric rings going out, the center would be the extremely important issues, the deity of Christ, the virgin birth, things you don't compromise on. You go out to the next ring, and it's pretty important, but maybe not central. And then, so I would put the whole topic of Christian contemporary music out in one of the outer rings. I would prefer to hit a bullseye, but it's okay. I wouldn't fight them. Wouldn't join them, but wouldn't fight them either. I think they love the Lord as much as I do. Okay? Hope that helps, brother.
All right, thank you, Pastor Hovind. This next, it's not really an email, it's more like a testimony, comes in from Karen. I think she plans on sending this to Marco Rubio, Bill Nelson, and Congressman Jeff Miller. And she wanted you to hear it and maybe make any suggestions that you care to make. So I'll just read it to you, sir. Hello, my name is Karen. I'm part. Yes, sir. You okay?
I'm fine, yeah.
Okay, all right. Okay, hello, my name is Karen. I'm a part of a group of concerned citizens trying to bring attention to an injustice that has been done to Kent Hovind and Paul Henson. The charges against Kent Hovind have been dropped and he has served his time. He was approved for home release last February, and yet he still remains in the county jail and is being refused release. We have made call after call after call and email after email to find out why he is not out of jail. No response from anyone except to say they can't help us. So I'm appealing to Senator Marco Rubio, Senator Bill Nelson, and Congressman Jeff Miller to step up and to take action to get Kent Hovind out of jail and back with his family. He has been away from his family for nearly 9 years just for taking money out of his own bank. This is wrong, and it shouldn't be happening to anyone. The IRS has admitted and apologized for doing this, and yet people are still in jail and have not had their hard-earned money or property returned to them. When will someone make this right? I remind you of the oath you took when you were sworn in, and I hold you to that oath. Law-abiding citizens and their families are being destroyed by this injustice. Paul Henson did nothing but try to legally protect the ministry's trust, and yet he is still facing more prison time. We need your help. Can we depend on you? Thank you, Karen.
Excellent. Thank you, Karen. Yes. I wish they would step up and take a stand one way or the other so we know where they are. I'm sure they're getting inundated with mail and email, and it's real simple. They'll say they can't do anything, Justice Department, blah, blah, blah. I've heard all that stuff. That's simply not true. They can investigate the entire case. Congress is supposed to do that. They're supposed to investigate for any impeachment proceedings. That's how it's supposed to work. Since they've only done it 16 times since 1792, maybe they forgot that that's one of their jobs. Well, remind them this election cycle. Secondly, they can repeal that stupid structuring law and make it retroactive. Thirdly, they pay the budget for the BOP. It's a BOP employee somewhere along the line that forgot to sign a paper or do something. We think it was the ones in Berlin, New Hampshire. But somebody forgot to sign a paper that should have released me immediately after the trial. That person needs to be called on the carpet to find out why. There needs to be damages paid for keeping me here. It's a week ago I should have...
This call is from the San Diego County Sheriff's Office.
I should have been home a week ago right now. Under their law that Congress passed, the Second Chance Act. I did everything. I qualified. I did all the right stuff. They dropped the ball, and they damaged me already, and they're damaging me more. And they need to fix it. And yes, that's Congress's job, since Congress writes the paycheck for the BOP. Okay, well, call your people in, say, I don't know who dropped this, but get the boss on the carpet and say, can you fix this right now? Give them 5 seconds. Make it do something. Yes, they can. So don't let them get by with saying they can't do anything. They certainly can. They can make it retroactive. The law, the structuring law. IRS, another thing they do is simply abolish the IRS. Totally unnecessary organization. Now that's another long, interesting story that others can fight that battle. But don't let them get by with this. Thank you, Karen. Keep the pressure on.
All right, very good. Pastor Hovind, the next question comes in from Bert from Holland. He writes, Dear Kent, all over the world, people have been praying for your release and are watching everything closely for the coming period on what will happen to you. Christmas, I think 2013, I had sent you a book, My Sheep Hear My Voice. Do you remember receiving it and reading it? He goes on to write, In 2001, I had experienced God while driving my car. Although I could not see him, I felt a strong beam of peace focused on myself while driving my car. It only lasted 30 seconds. I knew it was spiritual, and it would seem to me to be in 3D dimension we are living in, like our spirit is connected to our body. My question is, we know that God is outside time in another dimension. Although you mentioned our brain cannot comprehend certain things, can you please explain as best as you can the dimension where God is, which is timeless? Your friend, God bless you, Bert from Holland.
Well, thank you, Bert. I'd love to get over there and preach one of these days. Been there 3 times to your airport and sat for 4 hours, but never got past that. So give me a church over there. I'll come preach. I want to go see the guy that built the Noah's Ark that floats up and down the canals there. That's for sure. Got to go see his ark. As far as the book, My Sheep Hear My Voice, I get a mountain of stuff. If that was 2 years ago, I don't recall. I may have gotten it when I was being moved around. I don't have it with me now. It may be in my property, and I don't recall reading it. I used to get 3, 4, 5 books a week sent to me, so it may be something I would skim and say, oh, I'll put this in my property and read it as I get time. Because I know at that time I was working on my dissertation, my book. I was writing in time, so I can't say that I recall getting it or reading it, but if it's in my property when I get home and as I get time, I will. As far as God existing outside of time, there's no way I can explain that. It would be me trying to explain that to you would be like one blind man trying to explain to another blind man the difference between red and blue and green. If a person's been blind all their life, they simply have no comprehension of what those colors are. There are at least 5 inputs into our brain. Think of it like a computer, and you got the mouse can get information in, or the keyboard, or the USB port, or the different ways. How do you access the main brain of the computer? Well, what if you cut one of those wires? You no longer have that input. Your human brain has the senses, sight, taste, touch, smell, etc. Those are the inputs into the brain. Well, if one of them is cut, like for instance the sense of sight, then you simply are not ever going to understand colors if you were born blind. Or sound, or take the illustration however you'd like. I suspect it's the same with...
You have 60 seconds remaining.
Things that have to do with God and eternity is just beyond our comprehension. Can't fit it into your brain. God didn't give us a capacity to understand that, either because we couldn't handle it right now with our little human brain, or he doesn't want us to know. I don't know why, but I cannot explain it. He's outside of time. If he were limited by time, then time would be God, not God. All right, hope that helps, brother.
All right.
Or brother, I can call back. It's a good time?
Yes, sir. It's a good time for us if it's a good time for you.
All right. Thank you.
All right. All right. Every call is precious, and I hope it gets out of there soon, but it's a good time to get these questions in while we can. A lot of background noise, so I know it's pretty active in that prison right now.